Recording in progress.
Test. Make suggestions. Test. Sweet.
Sorry.
Okay. Great. Apologies, everybody, for the brief technical difficulties. We are going to get started today with the March 6, 2025 meeting of the Lower Downtown Design Review Commission. It is 8:34. Starting the meeting today and calling it to order. So before we get started, up on the screen today, you'll see audio tips for anybody who's joining us virtually. For better sound quality, we encourage you to download Zoom on your desktop, laptop, tablet, or mobile device. Click on audio settings to bring up an additional menu to try adding a background noise suppression, and test your speaker and microphone to adjust their maximum output volumes. If you are a presenter today, or if you are a member of the public wishing to comment when it is your turn to speak, to mute or unmute, please click on the microphone icon at the bottom of your screen. Expanding that menu will give you different options to select your speaker and microphone devices. And if you're continuing to have audio challenges, we recommend switching to phone for audio. So before we get started, we'll do some introductions of the commission. Start with you.
Nick Allen, developer.
Amy Sanborn, preservation architect.
I'm Heather Vasquez Johnson, practicing architect and chair.
Britt Glick, property owner.
Andy Duckett Imke, preservation architect and vice chair.
Tim Gardner, president.
And I'm Amy Amadon, representing Denver Landmark staff.
And joining us virtually,
Craig Lawrence, owner operator.
thank you, Craig. First item on our agenda this morning are the meeting records for approval. We have a meeting record from last month's meeting on February 6th. Does any members of the commission have comments or edits to that meeting record? Okay, I'm not seeing any, so we can accept the meeting record as written and distributed. Before we get started, we will open it up to general public comment. Is that also including consent agenda or?
Anything that anyone wants to present to you.
So any general public comment? If you are, we have nobody here in person in the audience, so if you are joining us virtually and are a member of the public and would like to speak about anything in general, please click on the hand raise button and let the staff know. Dial *9, or you can email landmark@denvergov.org. Okay, I am not seeing anything. So we will move into our consent agenda for this morning. The process is up on the screen. I will announce the consent agenda items and include their address. If any commissioners would like to pull something from the consent agenda, we will move it to design review. If there's any conflicts of interest, anyone will announce that and leave the room, and we will take a motion and vote. And then this morning, if your project is on the consent agenda and approved, you are welcome to leave the meeting and enjoy the rest of your day. So we have one item on consent agenda this morning. It's item number 2025-COA 125 at 1490 16th Street, 16 Market Square for patio expansion and projecting sign. Do any commissioners wish to pull this from consent and move it to design review? Okay, not seeing any. And in that case, would somebody care to make a motion?
I can do it. I move to approve the consent agenda for March, say that, 6th,
Yes.
with consent number 2025-COA-125 for 1490 16th Street, 16 Market Square.
Great. Thank you, Andy. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Fred. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, Craig. Any opposed? Okay, any abstentions? Great. For our applicant on the consent agenda today, congratulations. Your project is approved unanimously, and we will move into design review. The process for design review is up on the screen. Similarly to consent agenda, I'll announce the item that is on design review today. If any commission members have a conflict of interest, they will let us know and leave the room. At that point, we'll turn it over to staff, who will introduce the application and issue the staff recommendation. And at which time commissioners will be able to ask questions of staff. We will open it up to an applicant to make a presentation. For this project, they'll have 10 minutes. You're welcome to make it shorter if you don't need your full 10 minutes. And then at that time, the commissioners can ask questions of the applicant. We will open it up to public comment, similarly at the beginning, which will be limited to 2 minutes per person. Follow up with any staff clarifications, and then open it up for deliberation and motion and vote. So our first and only design review item today is item 2024-COA-812, 1520 Blake Street for a projecting sign. I'll turn it over to Crystal.
Thanks, Heather. So this proposal is for a new projecting sign at 1520 Blake Street. Property currently has a signage violation as existing signage was installed without permits. The new projecting sign will be located above the main front entrance to the existing Italian restaurant, Giovannina's. Here on the left, you can see 1520 Blake Street storefront circled in red, and what was a fabric banner sign that was installed without permits. On the right, circled in red, is that same storefront showing 2 existing window signs that also do not have permits but do meet the design guidelines and can be administratively approved. As of February 25th, 2025, due to the Denver Zoning Code Bundle update that was adopted in December of 2024, all uses with direct street access in downtown zone districts are allowed 1 projecting sign without a comprehensive sign plan. So you can see more projecting signs coming to the commission without CSPs in the future. Step Y. Next slide. So the new projecting sign will be a metal sign with a 1/4" FCO aluminum cutout of a face and the name of the business stacked on a painted and digitally printed surface for additional depth to the projecting sign. The sign will be made of aluminum with painted green leaves on either side to add a 3-dimensional element to the simple projecting sign. The sign will not be illuminated. Design guideline 1.1E states that the sign be iconic, vibrant, and sculptural per the Denver Zoning Code. However, the Denver Zoning Code also calls for projecting signs to be creative in the use of unique 2- and 3-dimensional form, profile, and iconographic representation. This sign, though not highly 3-dimensional or sculptural in nature, is 2-dimensional, vibrant in color, and is creative in form and profile of the sign, with a circular and rectangular shape combined with those green painted leaves. Therefore, staff is supportive of the design, as the cameo image of the woman is iconographic and representative of the business and the main part of the sign. Next slide. Here on the left, you can see the layering detail of the main part of the projecting sign. And on the right, you can see how it will be mounted to an existing steel channel at the main entrance inset under the roof and will not damage the stone of the building or the existing storefront. The number of anchor points has been limited with this mount team and installation method. Next slide. So the new projecting sign meets lower downtown design guidelines for general signage and projecting signs. Therefore, staff is recommending.
Thank you, Crystal. Do any commission members have questions for staff this morning? I'm not seeing any. Thanks, Krista. Is the applicant joining us this morning? Kevin, you've been moved over to a panelist, so as soon as you're ready, you can unmute and you have 10 minutes.
Okay, this is Kevin Flannery with Da Vinci Sign. Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, great. I believe Jake may be on the line, the owner of the restaurant, or the applicant. As far as the sign goes, I do believe the sign is three-dimensional in nature. It does follow a very Italian theme, which is directly coming from the streets of Italy, and the bracket especially is very conforming to that type of bracket. Being an Italian restaurant, I think that it conforms to the iconographic aspect of what you guys are seeking, as well as per the theme of the restaurant and the nature of the landmark building. So I think it's in keeping with that taste. There is no internal illumination on this. It would be just the ambient light in the area, so it would be very low profile as far as illumination goes in the evening. So I think it meets all your criteria, and we appreciate if you could approve this. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Do any commission members have questions for the applicant? Okay, I'm not seeing any. Any members of the public wishing to comment on this project? Again, if you're joined virtually, please raise your hand. Okay, I'm not seeing any. Any staff recap? Great, thanks, Crystal. All right, we will open it up for deliberation. Does everybody think?
Good looking sign.
Good looking sign, good restaurant, actually.
That's the important part, right?
The
Yeah.
only comment that I would have is that the 1/4-inch flat cut aluminum continuous piece, I've seen signs like this that actually have a little bit of volume. They just kind of bowl out, and show a little bit of depth instead of having that really flat, 1/4-inch profile as the side profile. It would give it a little bit of more depth and volume when you're looking at it from the street, perpendicular to the sign. Only comment.
Does anybody care to make a motion this morning?
I will.
Make a motion. Oh, go ahead, go in person, do it.
Okay, all right, great. I move to approve application number 2024 COA 812 for the projecting sign at 1520 Blake Street as per design policy standards and guidelines 1.1, 1.2, 1.4, 1.7, 1.8, 7.1, presented testimony, submitted documentation, and information provided in staff report.
Thank you, Nick. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank
I'll
you,
second.
Brett. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, any opposed? Any abstentions? Great, congratulations, project application has been approved unanimously. And at that point, we will close design review. Do we have any business items or discussion items this morning? We do not. Great, thanks, Amy. Well, with that, I will close the meeting at 8:46. Very short and sweet this morning. Thank you, everybody.